Hello students, after finishing pharmacokinetic in the last four session, now we will discuss the topic of pharmacodynamics. As we have discussed in pharmacokinetic, four steps A, D, M, E, denoted as absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion. We discussed through the process of absorption, blood enters in the blood circulation, and through the process of distribution, the drug reaches into the tissues. After getting entry into the tissues, the drug now free to show its effect. So how does it show its effect? It will be studied in pharmacodynamics. So in pharmacodynamic, we study what the drug does to the body. What the drug does to the body and how does it show its effect. It is studied in pharmacodynamics. On the other hand, in pharmacokinetic, we discuss the movement of drug in body, what the body does to the drug. So pharmacodynamics, we study what the drug does to the body, D for D. In pharmacodynamic, we discuss what the drug does to the body. On the reverse, in pharmacokinetic, we discuss what the body does to the drug. That is ADME in pharmacokinetic. So in pharmacodynamics, it is a word of Greek language in which pharmakon means drug and dynamics means action. So the literal meaning of pharmacodynamics is action of drug. Pharmacodynamics is the study of biochemical and physiological effects of drug and their mode of action. So it is the study of effect and action of drug. How the effect is shown and how this action is shown, it is studied in detail in pharmacodynamic. It shows action through receptors. The receptor has been discussed in your physiology classes and I think also in biochemistry. The receptors through which the drug are attached and show their action, it is studied in pharmacodynamics. And this effect and response is directly proportional to the plasma concentration of drug. It changes the response of drug changes with the plasma concentration of drug. So in pharmacodynamics deals with the relationship between plasma concentration of drug and response of drug as well as duration of action. If you can recollect your memory, in pharmacokinetic we discussed the relationship between the dose of the drug and plasma concentration. How the plasma concentration changes with dose of the drug. It is studied in pharmacokinetic. While in pharmacodynamic, we discuss how the response of the drug changes with the plasma concentration of drug. When we discuss the response shown by drug, we encounter the two terminologies, effect and action. Effect and action, in most of the site these two terms are used interchangeably, but that's not true. There is a difference between effect, drug effect and drug action. Drug effect actually is a type of response. This can be explained by if a ACE inhibitor drug, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor drug like enalapril, it is an antihypertensive drug. When it is taken by the hypertensive patient, it reduces blood pressure in that patient. So reduction of blood pressure is effect of that drug. It is the effect of enalapril. But how this effect is shown, what the biochemical changes has been done by enalapril, it is action. It enalapril reduces blood pressure, it is a effect, but enalapril reduces blood pressure by inhibiting the enzyme of angiotensin converting enzyme. This inhibition of angiotensin converting enzyme, this is action. So effect is a broad response. What response the drug has shown, but how this response has been produced, it is action. In the case of enalapril, the hypotensive action has been produced by the inhibition of angiotensin converting enzyme. So when we discuss the individual drug in the systemic pharmacology, we discuss the mechanism of action of each and every drug. So mechanism of action, so that means in mechanism of action we will discuss the biochemical changes produced in cell because of drug. So these are the changes. Action include the changes at the biochemical level, while the effect are the broad response. And drug action, that is the biochemical changes, results in drug effect. So drug action always precedes the drug effect, because the drug effects are produced by the drug action only. And what is drug action? Drug action is biochemical changes. Drugs almost in all condition produces quantitative effect. Whatever the reaction is occurring in body normally, physiologically, that reaction either increase or decrease by any drug. No additional effect is joined by any drug. Whatever the reaction is getting occur in body, that their speed, their rate is increase or decrease, except the few condition we will discuss later on. How the drug shows its effect? Definitely by acting upon, by attaching upon its target. These targets are called as effectors. The drug may attach to enzyme, as we have discussed enalapril. It is a angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor drug. It is an antihypertensive drug. It attaches to a particular enzyme, angiotensin converting enzyme, that convert the angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. This enalapril binds to this enzyme. Warfarin, you have studied in physiology and biochemistry. Warfarin, it bind to hydroxylase enzyme. So there are few drugs which attaches to enzyme, and they, by inhibiting the enzyme, they show their effect. They can bind to channels also. For example, calcium channel blocker drug, verapamil. Verapamil is a drug which block calcium channel, L type voltage sensitive calcium channel. When verapamil bind to calcium channel, calcium can't enter inside the cell. But in most of the condition, the drug does not bind to receptor and they don't bind to channel. They bind to receptors. So receptor is a type of drug target. All drug targets are not receptors. So what is receptor? Receptor can be defined as a purely regulatory macromolecules which combine with and mediate the action of signal molecules including drug. That means receptor are the hypothetical macromolecule. They are hypothetical to which the drug combine and show their effect. So this slide can be read, though in a broad sense all type of drug biomolecule including the effector, which include enzyme channels transporters with which a drug can bind to produce its action, have been denoted as receptor by some authors of book. Such designation tends to steal the specific meaning of this important term. So receptor is a specific macromolecular protein, and this specific macromolecular protein may be membrane bound or may be intracellular. They may be present in intracellular, which is capable of binding with a specific functional group of the drug or endogenous substance. When this drug bind to receptor, they form a complex, that is DR complex, and when the DR complex is formed, it shows its response. Where the drug receptors are present, they may be present cellularly on the surface of cell, like nicotinic receptor are present on the motor end plate, to which the acetylcholine molecule binds and show its effect to show contraction of skeletal muscle. Receptor may be present inside the cell. They may be present on the nucleus. Nuclear receptors are corticosteroid are the drug which show their action, their response by binding to the nuclear receptor. Similarly, trimethoprim, it is a antimicrobial agent which also acts upon the intracellular receptors. Binding to receptor, binding of drug to receptor is very specific. Each drug cannot bind to any receptor. There is a specific type of receptor to which drug are attached. This binding may be reversible or irreversible. If the binding is reversible, the drug can be removed from this receptor, while while the binding is irreversible type, the drug cannot be detached from it. There is one important concept of two things: affinity and efficacy. By using this concept, affinity and efficacy, and better called as intrinsic activity, by applying the concept of affinity and intrinsic activity, the drug can be classified into various groups. What is affinity? Suppose there is a lock, and for a lock there is a key. If a key can be entered in the keyhole of a lock, and as a result the key can be entered in the keyhole of a lock, if it can open the lock, this is the secondary thing. Similarly, if a drug is capable to bind its receptor successfully, this is the primary thing, that is called as affinity. And as a result of binding of the drug to receptor, the DR complex is formed. But what happens then? If this binding, if the binding of a drug to receptor can trigger pharmacological response or not, this is called as intrinsic activity. It can be equated with, if a key can be entered in the keyhole of a lock, it can be equated with affinity, but intrinsic activity can be equated with the, if this key can open the lock, this is the intrinsic activity. Depending upon the affinity and intrinsic activity, the all drugs can be classified into four categories. First category is full agonist, second is antagonist, third is partial agonist, and fourth is inverse agonist. Full agonist has affinity high, that is termed as 1. That means drug can binds to receptor at its fullest capacity, and this binding can also result, it can also trigger the pharmacological response fullest. So intrinsic activity is 1 highest. For example, there are various drugs that are agonist to any receptor, like methacholine. This is the cholinomimetic drug. It binds to muscarinic receptor and show its effect. These are full agonist drug. But antagonist has high affinity. They can bind to receptor, but this binding cannot trigger any pharmacological response. So intrinsic activity of antagonist is 0 as compared to full agonist. They cannot trigger pharmacological response. Their pharmacological response is 0. For example, atropine is antagonist to acetylcholine. That means acetylcholine is the agonist. When the acetylcholine binds to its receptor, the intrinsic activity is fullest. But atropine is antagonist to acetylcholine. When it is bind to acetylcholine receptor, it can bind because affinity is high, but this binding cannot trigger the pharmacological response. So their intrinsic activity is 0. What is partial agonist? As the name suggests itself, it is partial agonist. It is agonist but not full agonist. It is partial. So their affinity is high. They can bind to the receptor as the same strength as the full agonist. But this binding cannot trigger pharmacological response at the fullest capacity. Their pharmacological response in between 0 and 1. That means the pharmacological response triggered by partial agonist, it is less than full agonist, but it is more than antagonist. That's why they are called as partial agonist. Like pentazocine is partial agonist to mu receptor, and mu receptor is a type of opioid receptor. Lastly, there is a inverse agonist. As the name suggests itself, inverse means reverse to agonist. They show pharmacological response in the opposite direction of agonist. Their affinity is high, but their pharmacological response is in the opposite direction of full agonist. For example, beta carbolin is the inverse agonist to benzodiazepine receptor. So there is a difference between inverse agonist and antagonist. Antagonist has intrinsic activity 0, but inverse agonist has intrinsic activity in the opposite direction of full agonist, or opposite direction to partial agonist. This is the difference between antagonist and inverse agonist. Inverse agonist has very few example in pharmacology. In them, beta carbolin is one of them. Benzodiazepine, when the benzodiazepine group, when the agonist drug bind to benzodiazepine receptor, they cause sedation, they induce sleep. But when beta carbolin is attached to benzodiazepine receptor, they cause alertness. So you can appreciate here, this is the inverse response, pharmacological response in the opposite direction. So you can see here, they are the 4 classes of drug, and these 4 classes of drug are classified on the basis of intrinsic activity. They are not classified on the basis of affinity. Affinity is the strength of binding between drug and receptor, while the intrinsic activity is the strength of pharmacological response shown by binding of drug to receptor. This is intrinsic activity. This can be shown in this graph also. In the x-axis there is a drug concentration, and on the y-axis there is level of response. You can see here full agonist, that is shown by the blue line, complete blue line. You can see here it is showing its effect at the fullest capacity, so intrinsic activity is maximum, it is 1. Antagonist, their intrinsic activity is 0. You can see the straight line, so antagonist has intrinsic activity 0. Partial agonist has activity in plus in between antagonist and full agonist. You can see here they are agonist. Partial agonists are agonist, but their response is not as similar to full agonist. Their pharmacological response is less than full agonist but more than antagonist. So you can see here dotted black line, they are partial agonist like pentazocine as we have discussed. In the blue dotted line, these are the drug inverse agonist. They are showing response in the reverse direction of agonist. You can see here their direction in just opposite to the full agonist and partial agonist. So the dotted blue line are inverse agonist drug. For example, beta carbolin to benzodiazepine receptor. This is all about this session. Thank you.